questions. So the next question that you should be asking is, what are you looking for in a builder? You want a custom home, or is a tract home good enough? Like, that's something you got to be asking.
Custom almost always costs more. If you go through one of the big builders' homes and you love it, buy it. They usually do a great job in building them. Site soups are kind of hit and miss, but usually they've got a big bankroll to fix any problems. They've got systems in place. You can very easily Google them and search them and check out all the reviews you want on these big builders. If you're going with a custom, it's going to cost you a little bit more. But you get what you want. Exactly. Some builders are a mixture of both. Some builders are tract builders that will customize their home a little bit. Mm-hmm. That just depends on how much customization you want to do. Some people's customization will give you 4 paint colors instead of 2 paint colors to choose from. Others will customize absolutely everything so it wasn't even recognizable to the original form. So
for a price, yeah. So
those are questions you have to ask your builder. Unfortunately, if you're building in certain locations, your ability to select a builder is limited. Certain developments are closed off to the builder group that's in there, so you have 5 different builders to choose from if you want to live in this area. So those are also questions to ask before you start thinking, I want to use QualityConnect, I'm going to manage my own build, and I want to build in the orchards. And you go over there and Brookfield says, no, not selling you guys a lot.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, so then you're either building from one of their approved builders, the 4 that are in there, or you're buying in Windermere or a private lot somewhere, or an infill, or out on an acreage. So.
Yeah, those are the choices. I mean, around here in Edmonton. Another important question that you should be asking yourself is, what amenities do you want for the most important room in the house? The kitchen. What kind of stuff do you want in there? Like that's a major important one that people should be asking. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think kitchen is definitely the most important. It's where everyone goes. It's where it's where everyone gathers. It's where your family hangs out.
It's where the food is.
It's where the food is. It's where the party is. Always has been. Is in the kitchen. So yeah, do you want a big island? Do you like the granite look? Do you like the quartz? Your butcher block or poured concrete. Like, what do you want for countertops? What type of kitchen cabinets do you want? It's like how big? Are you do you need a formal dining room? Do you entertain a lot? Are you fine with just an eat-in bar? Like, these are questions you need to know, because a lot of stuff is designed around the kitchen, then it breaks off from there. Bedrooms are bedrooms. They all go on they go on the second floor, stuff like that. But your kitchen is where you can have the most creativity.
I've been picking this fight with people online. The fight is open concept kitchen or closed off kitchen. Personally, for me, I'm a closed off kitchen kind of guy, because I can't stand walking into my house, looking from my front door, and I can see my kitchen from my front door. And it's like the messiest place in the house because I've got 3 kids. Where do you stand? Are you an open concept kind of guy or a closed off kitchen kind of guy?
I'm an open concept. Yeah. I've done quite a few homes with what they're calling a spice kitchen, which is sort of a secondary prep kitchen. It's like a really big walk-in pantry, but it has a stove and it has microwaves, and that's where you can do all your prep work and your cooking. But like all your kitchen cabinet or all of your plates and bowls and pots and everything are outside of this room, and then you've got to go in and out through the door when you're serving. I like the open concept. I think I like it. Right. It's horrible for building because less walls is you've got a plumber, an HVAC guy, and an electrician all fighting over one little 2-foot wall. So
yeah, and then you've got if you got a big wide open ceiling, you've got issues with that as well. Especially if people want fancy vent hoods and things like that. For me, I want a kitchen that's closed off, because then you don't have the smells going through the house. You don't have all the food that's on the counters. Your kids make a mess, they make a mess in there, and you can have a separate area. That's just me. That's the fight I'm picking. You guys can decide for yourselves.
Buy a 1970s house, you'll be in.
Perfect, 1970s, but it has to be big though. Next question that you should be asking is, will you be finishing the basement now or later? That is a huge question.
Yes, if you're finishing the basement at the same time you do your new home build is obviously more money because you're finishing a basement, but scheduling wise and dust wise, like you can have, once you get the basement caught up with the house, flooring guy comes in, flooring straight through, painting guy, painting right through, like finisher, he can finish absolutely everything, plumber can do all his finishing work, HVAC final, like everything can be done, and then when you move in, you're done. You're not living in a renovation. Finishing the basement after, drywall dust just gets everywhere.
Yeah.
No matter how hard you try to seal off that basement, that drywall dust just gets everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just always good. Like the basement reno can be done 2 months ago, and you're still having drywall dust settling down.
Yeah. What I call it is the herpes of the construction trade. That's what I call it, because it's so contagious. It just gets everywhere. You can't go anywhere in your place without finding drywall dust. I can't stand drywall dust. I would never be a drywaller just because I hate it so much.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and then you've got, especially if your basement door is in the middle of your house, you've got trades coming through your house. And you either have to give your trades access to your house, or you have to have someone there watching your house. So it's always easier to do it, even though it's financially more money.
Yeah. So you should definitely plan for finishing that basement sooner rather than later. At the time of construction is best. If you can squeeze that extra 20, 30 grand in your budget, I would just do it.
Yeah, and it's going to be cheaper for you to do it at the same time because trades will give you a discount. If the trade's already there doing work, you can usually get the basement done a little bit cheaper because they don't have that added trip charge. They don't have to come back. They don't have to order more. They can get it all done in one trip. So
perfect. And your inspections, you don't have to get another inspection.
Yes.
You don't have to, try and replumb things in, and it's just way easier.
Yeah.
All right, the final question is that you need to ask is, what can you afford? That is a big thing that people need to understand before they get into the whole, I want this and that, and I want that fancy, Egyptian cotton flooring and linens on the walls and all that kind of stuff. Seriously, at the Kate's job I was talking about earlier, they had this fancy printed, hand painted stuff on the walls. It was couldn't even ask how much it was per foot. It was ridiculous, but it was like hand painted wall coverings in the office. I couldn't even imagine. Anyways, go ahead.
What you can afford, that's where Quality Connect comes in at the start. Get your job priced out before you start. Then you know what everything's going to cost. Then you can change it, and then you're not left with a really big house that's empty. You're not, like they say, house poor. You're not moving into some 3,000 square foot house that has painted plywood floors and, like your kitchen cabinets take up a third of the kitchen because you couldn't afford to put cabinets through the whole thing, or you're left without being able to put any artwork on. No window coverings, nothing like that. It's like, get your job priced out before you start, so you know what it's going to cost. And as to what you can afford, that's between you and the mortgage guys. Sometimes the banks with their lovely stress tests think you can afford less than you actually can. That's between you guys. That's between you and your funding, and you and your mortgage, and whatever your income is. But make sure you know what it's going to cost. Get it quoted properly. Run it through some different trades.
Absolutely. So use Quality Connect.
Yes. And
get all of your quoting done through there. It'll save you a bunch of headaches and time in your build. That's all for me and Andrew here with Quality Connect, and we will catch you guys next.